This is Morten Eitzel from INKISH TV. We are live from Printing United in Dallas. And I found Perry Fernandes, and you are actually a customer, right?
We are a customer of Canon, yes. A big user of their high-speed inkjet technology. And yeah, glad to be at the show and here with our Canon peers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this week.
We have to establish who you are and what kind of business you do. So PCI, tell us a little bit about what kind of company you have.
Sure. PCI Group, we're considered a transactional printer and mailer. We are. I would describe PCI as a big, small company. We're a little over 300 employees. We operate out of Fort Mill, South Carolina, and right here in Irving, Texas. And we are a user of their high-speed technology, Canon's high-speed technology. You know, they're more than a vendor, in my opinion. They are a stakeholder in what we do.
But that I mean, saying that especially on live here, that is kind of a commitment, right? I mean, it's a commitment from you to Canon, but I also guess that it puts a lot of responsibility on their shoulders to actually support your business.
100%. So, what we print is personal information. The transactional space that we're in, we print a lot of healthcare, a lot of financial documents, and what have you. So, what we print is critical. You got to get it right, and when you don't, you know, you're really you're facing, you know, HIPAA violations and whatnot. So that's where Canon comes in. They help us not only with just their printing, but you know, things like workflow, things of that nature.
So are you saying that they are like a full service provider to you, helping you with everything from workflow till finishing to everything?
Well, they take it all the way up to finishing. But they kind of, you know, consult us along the way. We do have dedicated service technicians on site, so that's a huge plus. I mean, we operate 24/7, 365 days a year, and you know, most of what we print has a 24-hour SLA. You have to get, you know, you have to get what you print today in the mail either by tonight or tomorrow morning, and you know, we print quite a bit of paper, you know, about 10 million images a day, and as I said, it's personal information. You got to get it right. So,
tell me a little bit, because I mean, you are a 300-person company. What I mean, the type of business you do. My audience is global, so I'm trying to figure out: are you in a market where you have a lot of competition, or how do you see yourself in the American market?
Well, again, I believe we're in Canon's top 20. As far as, you know, a ranking or what have you, but in the healthcare space, there are, you know, other transactional printers that do what we do. Quite a few companies do it themselves internally, whether they just feel more comfortable doing it in-house or what have you. But there are a lot of implants that do what we do as well. We help customers either with a contingency type of an arrangement, where we could take some of their overflow, or just knowing that they have us as a backup in the event that, you know, something goes sideways, or there's a natural disaster type of thing. You know, we help customers do that as well. So, but you got to be in sync with them. We got to make sure that we're all, you know, using the same workflow and or similar.
Yeah, because I was just about to say that when you are working with, as you say, highly personal data, when you work with something that needs to be on time because the SLAs require this, and I guess you have high penalties if you don't deliver. I was just wondering how I mean, one thing is what you do at your company, but it's also quite important that the kind of data that you get from your customers is delivered safely and securely and in a format that, how is that managed today?
Well, we go through a rigorous amount of compliance and regulatory programs. I mean, we have to be certified. We are audited constantly by several different organizations. You have to be locked down. I mean, in a day like in our world today, you know, data breaches happen. I mean, it happens to some of the largest companies in the world and in America, and your systems have to be locked down. You know, you're not going to do business with some of the largest companies in America unless you are. So I was going to say tremendous amount of effort and money goes into compliance and
So I guess that when you have reached that level of integrity and trust from customers, I guess that might be sometimes even more important than having good partners like Canon when you go pitching new customers, because I guess that trustworthiness and that belief in you is that something that you can use, or you under hundreds of NDAs where you can talk about customers, or how can you use it in your marketing?
Well, we do, but to your point, you have to be obviously discreet with who you're doing business with. But again, it makes us a better company, a stronger company. We have a high expectation from our customers, and again, at the end of the day, it makes you a better company in the end. So.
And is there specific requirements also when you employ people? Because do they have like regulatory processes for being sure that you employ people that can handle this kind of information?
Yes, we spend a lot of time with background checks and making sure that the people that we hire.
So you would say you don't have many crooks employed?
Right, exactly. So, but it's funny. The employees that we do have, we tell them that up front. Yeah. We say, look, we're a printer, but make no mistake about it, we're dealing with personal information, and that's how you got to look at it. It's not ink on paper. You're dealing with someone's personal information, credit card, health care, whatever, and you got to treat it that way. And we make it clear to our employees that that's the business we're in.
It's funny that you also say this, because I think that one of the, I wouldn't say problems, but maybe a slightly problem is like recruiting new young people to the industry, because they think it's like an old, boring, paper-based. But we are almost like IT companies. We're doing a lot of data and a lot of computers and a lot of software. I guess that your software department is working on quite exciting projects all the time.
Well, I would say it's a myth. The numbers don't lie. Mail is not what it used to be. The volumes are declining. But there's just so much opportunity still, and the way we look at it, especially on the mail and print mail that is regulatory, where you are required to put an envelope and what have you in a customer's hands. That's the type of business that we're in. I think it's going to be around still for a while. I know that the younger generation, may not go to the mailbox as much as the older generation, and a lot of it is opt-in now too, where you want your banking statement, let's say, and you don't want paper. It's an opt-in thing, and you check a box and you say, "Don't send me a paper statement." But that being said, there's still plenty of opportunity there, and that's what we do.
Talking about the decreasing market that is evident, I was just about to say as well that when you have invested in Canon inkjet technology, I think that you have also invested in something where you can turn it from being a transactional print into something else. Is that some of the considerations you have when investing in inkjet?
I think we're going to stay focused in the transactional space. The story or the case that we do make with implants, companies that do their own printing, internal printing, that's a more compelling story, I think, with those folks, where it could be an insurance company, let's say, and their core business is insurance. It's not print. So inkjet technology, especially the latest technology, the high-speed technology, has really been, I would say in the last 10 years, has really come to market. And those implants that do their own internal printing, they've come to a crossroads, and they look at do they want to continue to invest in a cost center, or do they want to outsource to a company like PCI? So it's a compelling story that we can position ourselves in.
But I guess that that answer should be easy to answer, right? Because that question should be answered because they should outsource it because
it's not their core business.
Yeah, and I guess also that your continuous investment in both software and printing technology and finishing technology also should make you more competitive and still profitable, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is the challenge when you go to market?
I think again, whenever we onboard a client, a customer, there's a tremendous amount of onboarding synergy. You have to make sure that your workflows are in sync.
I mean, you don't change from one supplier to another just for fun, right?
Right. Well, it's funny because even our customers, a lot of our customers they may have a lot of satellite, print offices around the country. So they're the ones who are battling to make sure that all the formatting is at least somewhat standardized. So when we take that from our customer, a lot of times we have to work through that issue. Onboarding can take a long time. It could take months. It could take up to a year. I can think of one customer that we did it in 6 phases over about a 6-month period to a year, and you just got to do it one at a time and get it. But it's got to be right, though. You got to get it right, and that's at the end of the day. That's you don't want to rush into something like that, because it's not a one-off ad hoc type of program. This is you're going to be doing this day in and day out, receiving files from customers. From that customer, and it's got to be right. So,
and I guess you do it right.
Yes, we do. We have, it's funny. We are held to a very high standard. We always say we're 5 or 6 places right at the decimal, 99.9999. So zero defect. That's our goal. That's what is expected of us. That's the customer expectation. But at the end of the day, I think we're pretty locked down because, like I said, what we do, you always have to continuously improve. You have to get better, and so that's what we do.
You already mentioned that you have a good relationship and a partner relationship with Canon. I take that you have been a partner with them for some time now. But when you look at partners in general terms, both from let's say paper suppliers, from finishing suppliers, from whatever suppliers you're working with, what kind of values do you put in a relationship?
I think there's when I say that our vendors are stakeholders in what we do, you can just see that. It's not just words. I mean, all the way down to some of the even all the way up to the the senior management level. They want to make sure that you're okay, that you're getting. It's not just all about service, that you're getting any kind of troubleshooting that has to happen. I mean, things can go sideways. It's important that you have those types of relationships with your key vendors to make sure that, if it's a weekend or if it's a Saturday night at 3 a.m, someone's going to be there for you and help you work through it. I mean, that's what Canon does.
And have you ever been in a situation where you had to take advantage of that stakeholder approach?
Absolutely. Happens all the time.
Give me a little story.
Oh, gosh. Well, I could tell you the 3 a.m. story where we had
3 Dallas time, or what time are we talking about?
This was Eastern Standard Time, where printers go down. We're fortunate in that if there's bad weather that comes through, we have obviously we have backup generators and whatnot. But when you're printing at line speed, some of these printers are printing 500 or 600 feet a minute. When you have a power interruption, you can literally have, they call it a web break, where you literally snap the paper and it's traveling at that speed, and it can do a lot of damage. And when you're running 4 or 5 printers on your floor and you have a blip and you have 3 web breaks all at once, or 4, you can damage the equipment. You got to get it back. And again, we're under a tight window. So everyone kind of springs into action. It's all hands on deck and try to get up printing as quickly as we can at line speed and kind of recover from it. But I would say those are the ones that.
And that was a time where it was important to have Canon on the site.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's wrap this up, because it's been a long interview. I think it's been fun, because this is actually an area of the industry where I don't know so much about, because unfortunately in Europe, mailing and direct mail is under big stress because of postage rate. I would say. But I was just saying that. First of all, it has been very nice talking to you, and I wish you all the best. We have 1 minute, so is there anything you would like to say? I mean, live is always stressful because you never know what to say in advance, right?
No, it's.
Do you think it's been fun?
It has been fun, and it's been great, meeting you, and thanks for your time as well. No, just being here, seeing all the different technology. I mean, we're in one space of the printing business, but just seeing what other companies are doing, the technology, the networking. I always say if you're not networking, you're only talking to yourself. So
that's true,
that's
and
what I enjoy.
that's true. And now you and I have met in person. I think we're connected on LinkedIn, and I hope that we will meet each other another time. Maybe I can come and visit your printing company one time.
There you go. Yeah, we're not that far from here. Only about 20 minutes.
That's
so.
great. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.